Oskar. What's up, man?
Roger, how you doing?
So, for everyone who doesn't know, Oskar is Lil Peep's brother, his older brother, by how many years?
Two.
By 2 years. And
Yes.
you just moved into a new apartment in Brooklyn.
Yeah, everything's still like in suitcases. I can't show any of it. Yeah.
How are you holding up? How's it going?
I'm doing all right. I mean, like the city's recovering, slowly but surely. It's a pretty crazy time. So I'm just trying I'm grateful that I have things to focus on during this time
Mhm.
that, you know, don't bring me too much stress. Like mostly just excitement, frankly.
Right,
Like
right.
I'm really excited about this. So, um, but yeah, but I mean, it's stressful time, right? So I'm just grateful that I'm not like, like a lot of like my actual life isn't falling apart in this situation.
So that's good to hear. And right now we're
Yeah,
speaking because today is the
yeah,
4 year anniversary of when Gus released Crybaby.
yeah. It is. It is.
Does it feel like it's been 4 years? Does it feel like it was yesterday? How's it feel?
Well, a lot has happened. I mean, it kind of feels like it's been 4 years, maybe even more in a way. But it also kind of feels like yesterday. Um, but I don't know. I would definitely trend towards more of like saying it feels like it's been like a really long time. Uh,
Right.
and because that was ages ago for me. It's a different world for me. Gus being around and making music, releasing music. Um, but it's so nice for us to be able to like still work with that, work with his brand and with his music and bring it out to the fans and, just have a way to interact with his legacy. It helps like, especially like finding positive ways to do that. It really, it makes life worth living. So,
Wow.
um, it's a different world. It's been like an eternity, a lot more than 4 years to me, but you know, um, events like this definitely mean a lot.
Yeah, I mean, definitely, I feel the same way where I can put myself in my mind in
Mm,
that house again where he recorded the project like it was yesterday. But then at the
mm.
same time, obviously, so much has happened to where it feels like it was 40 or 50 years.
Yeah,
Like, I was like, I
yeah.
can't even, it's like I can put myself there and then, like, I can't even imagine, you
Mhm.
know, that whole time period again. But so when he was recording Crybaby, you were
Yeah,
just graduating college.
yeah. Basically, he had really like during that year made like serious strides with like who he was working with, how seriously he was taking it, um, and like putting together a lot more real like serious tapes throughout 2015. And then boom, like 2016 comes around and like that's his biggest one yet. So um, yeah, I was kind of surprised to see it. Like he totally had it together. I didn't have it together. I mean, I was like, all right, nice, I'm done with college. That was what it was. And damn, you're really on a roll, Gus. Good for you. That's when I first started getting into making beats and stuff. And he definitely inspired me a lot with that. He was like coaching me along with that in the beginning.
Because I remember your Facebook posts at the time, because
Yeah.
we were Facebook friends, and I remember
Oh, okay.
posts that you would make that were like, "My brother's a superstar," and you would post a photo of him performing at the
Oh,
Hamlet
yeah.
Everything concert. And I think that's the incredible part of this whole thing is that you and your mom were just so supportive from the start, and it was
For
never
sure.
like, "Oh, you're wasting your life. What are you doing? Come back!" Like it's like no,
Yeah.
like you
No.
were
No.
supporting every step along the way.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, I like I could tell he was building like a career for himself. It was very clear. Um, so there was a lot that I didn't really know about how it worked.
Right.
So there wasn't really that much advice I could offer. That's why, frankly, like I bring up me just getting into making beats at that time because I'm off at college, like studying geography, very like not really that focused. Really, I don't really know what I'm going to be doing with myself. And you know, as Gus is like really making big steps in music, I wanted to find some way to, you know, other than just listening to like similar music to what he was listening to, talking with him about it, listening to his stuff, I wanted to like try and find a way to engage, like to understand his profession a little bit. So um, that's why I had started doing that in the interest of like one day collaborating with him, and or just like being able to like help him from kind of like the background, really.
Because how would you hear his music? Would it be when he posted it to SoundCloud, or would he send it to you in a text? What was that process like?
Honestly, some of it would just be out on SoundCloud, and then I would, yeah, that's a funny thing to remember. Like it would be out on SoundCloud, and I'd just like notice it, and like a fan, I'd be surprised and be like, oh, okay, there's a new song. But then there were a lot of times where, um, like back, especially earlier on, I would go on his laptop and like take it out of iTunes and just like literally look at what he was working on, because like I don't know, like I knew how to like dig through all that. So yeah, and just send it all to myself. So like I didn't even have to, you know, like he would be out of the room for a little while. I'd just go and do that. Like I didn't even have to
Oh my
like
God.
have the time to listen to them in there while he was gone. I just like nabbed the files, and then you know.
It's like the classic older brother snooping around his younger brother's room. However, you were snooping around the soon to be superstar's laptop.
Yeah,
So it's a
pretty much.
little kind of like kind of a twist on the classic older brother, younger brother scenario. So when he was
It was
recording
fun.
Crybaby, I bet it was. I'm sure fans
Yeah,
wish they could
yeah,
have heard that stuff first.
yeah.
But so when he's recording Crybaby, did you notice a shift in how he's approaching his music, or he's taking it even more serious, or what was it like around
His
those
beat
months?
selection's getting better. I mean, that's like something that isn't necessarily about the process. That's like just you can see that in the results of the album. Like
Hmm.
everything sounds cleaner. His voice just like he picks tracks that will really really suit his voice. I think starting with Crybaby, he gets really really good at that. And that, but like his process at the time, like he never really recorded around me. That's the thing. Like he was a night owl. The way he would do it is he'd just be in his room, and he'd go into like 4 or 5 in the morning, maybe just not sleep at all. But he mainly waited for opportunities where I'm pretty sure where like me or my mom, like we both wouldn't be able to hear. Um,
Huh.
so yeah, I don't know what it was. He would like record in front of friends, like that would be staying over till like 5 a.m. or 6 a.m. or something. I think it was probably just like an element of like, I don't know, like built-in stage fright or something, like
Right.
embarrassment, like I can't like be Pete with you looking at me, bro, get out of
Right.
here or something.
Right.
Except for he never said that. He just like subtly, quietly, like, I mean, I would usually just kind of like go to sleep at least around like 3 or 4, you know, when I was like 22, being an idiot, you know, hanging out in there. We were just chilling all night. But like, I didn't have it in me to like stay up till like 8 a.m. or not sleep at all. And he would just like do whatever he had to like get into his little private space where he could, um, I mean, he really found his way into like that part of his soul where, you know, I don't know, you know, when you're just like alone on a walk somewhere, or like alone driving, or just like
Right.
alone, not only in space, but you have some time too, you know, time and space. And you're just more your like unadulterated self. So I think that's what he was really trying to tap into. Like it's definitely better for an artist, or better is very subjective, but it can do a lot for an artist to tap into that state for sure.
Yeah, and it's actually really interesting you say that, because I just spoke with Laderick, and Laderick mentioned that a lot of the songs he recorded with him on the project would be in the house in Pasadena, and people are passed out on the floor, and it's just Laderick and him.
Yeah.
And that's like for sure like a very interesting point, that even when he was in his home with
Mm.
you guys, he was still like in his room.
Yeah, yeah. No, it was a private process. Like, that's why I really can't tell you exactly how much of it was even recorded at home before he goes
Right.
out to LA not long after I get home from college. So, but yeah, it was fun because I'd hear the songs the day after if he was that like confident in them. Sometimes, I mean, again, I don't know about this. I only am speculating, but I'm pretty sure there were ones that he would like make and then like not be fully confident in, go back to a few times before you would even share it.
Mhm.
Because he definitely like would be up some nights working and he didn't just like share everything right away. But then there'd be times where like boom, he just like have some, some shit for you. uh and the best was, honestly, I know it's not Crybaby, but as far as like how he like Gus sharing music with me, or me hearing it for the first time, was um one of his songs with McConan. He came home and just like put that on repeat.
That's
Literally kept it
incredible.
on for the entire day. Um,
Wow.
yeah, it was fun. He was certainly living in his moment. It was really fun because we had, been listening to McConan for a while. So that was a
And
big
at
one
that
for him.
point, he was a little, that was 2017, I assume. And he was probably, I
Yeah.
assume, also way more comfortable with who
Hmm.
he was as a musician and more comfortable in front of
Exactly.
you and Liza.
Hmm.
Liza shared a story of during the Crybaby sessions,
Hmm.
he came back to Long Beach and it was your graduation party in, I think
Yeah, in the
it
backyard.
was in your backyard
Yeah.
and there's like
Yeah.
photos of that. Uh,
Yeah,
and you
yeah, I was
like,
bummed. I wasn't
why?
proud of myself. Yeah, yeah, I wasn't proud of myself. That's why I was bummed.
Why?
It was a graduation party. I just like I felt kind of lost at that time, man.
Oh, okay. I
So
see what you're
yeah,
saying.
yeah.
But that
It's all
is such
good.
an
That's the first
interesting,
thing that comes to mind.
but it's
Sorry, go
just
ahead.
from me on the outside looking in, it's such an interesting thing
Yeah.
because you see this photo and
Mm,
he has the face tattoo and his hair is freshly pink and like he's on the
yeah.
cusp of becoming Lil Peep, but he's back
Mm,
home. He's with his family.
yeah,
He's
yeah. Eating food in the
he's like
backyard.
eating
Yeah.
a fucking hot dog. Like, is there anything from that weekend that you remember, or what was it like seeing him come back? Was that the first time you saw him with the face tattoo?
Um, I don't think so, honestly. Um, he had just been really stacking up tattoos at such a rate that like I remember when he got his face tattoo, I was kind of shocked, but part of me, like, I don't know, it would normalize very quickly for me. And but I can't, a lot of my specific memories about like the first time I saw something are a little bit blurred. Like, I can't really say exactly when that was.
Right.
Um,
And it just
but
all happened so fast too.
yeah, it really did. Like, that's the thing. He's still, like you said, 2017, he's more comfortable as an artist and everything. And he definitely is. He's already had like a career that like has kind of taken like multiple different turns in a way at that point.
Right.
Um, Even though he's like not even 21 yet.
Crazy.
So yeah, yeah, like in the summer when he's coming home playing that song, he hasn't even turned 21, and um, yeah, but he's still not like making music in front of us, or like I mean he doesn't really want those worlds to collide, like we would come
Right.
home and just like want to relax, and I think he really liked keeping things kind of separate. I Yeah, I don't know, that some people
And
prefer that.
like I think that's always was the most interesting window that I had into him was somebody who grew up in the same town as him and went to the same high school and knew you and
Mm,
then but he knows me from Mescarilla as well and being having a foot in each world and it was always just like such an interesting to hang out with him and to speak about Long Beach or to like it would almost like take him out of like the Lil Peep and it's like oh like he can just
yeah.
talk about East End pizza or you know what I mean like
Mm,
uh but I for sure see why those two things would maybe be like separate uh
mm.
because you can't be this mega superstar when
Yeah,
you're
no,
at
I think
home
it's
eating a
weird for
hot
him.
dog and like you're yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, honestly, you can, like, Lil Dicky does it, but like,
That's actually I love that show by the way.
Yeah, I do
The
too. I've been
show's
watching it.
incredible. I can't wait for the second season.
It's funny. It's funny as hell. But like that's the thing though, Gus. You know, when you're aiming to like have that persona as like a
Larger
rock
than life.
star, like a
Right.
yeah. You don't want those worlds. You don't want to allow those things to blend as much. Or
Hmm.
I to be honest, I think it's just gonna like take people a while to get comfortable with how those things blend. Because
Yeah.
I think older artists, from what I notice, manage to put those things together in really nuanced ways that don't really feel like um, I don't know. You'll just hear people
Right.
mentioning like where they like to eat in songs all the time, and it's like
Right.
it's pretty casual. Like people get casual as musicians past the point, I think, and I
Right.
don't think he felt like he was there yet. Like he couldn't get on a song and just like joke around with it. That wasn't who he
Right.
was. Yeah, or
Um,
like not necessarily joke around, but even be like that transparent, like talk about his favorite, like I don't know, his hometown as much, or he hadn't explored that yet. Like some people do
right.
that differently too. Like some people like I don't know, write like very long lyrical raps with like just like straight up details from their past experiences. And he never really like he didn't do as much of that either. Like as far as like storytelling style, like I feel like that whole style of like lyrics is kind of like in the past anyway a little bit. Maybe I'm wrong.
No, yeah. I mean, I see what you're saying. And I think
Yeah,
that's the whole thing is that he was, and that's the incredibly tragic part about the whole
yeah,
situation is that he was on the cusp of really slipping into this really comfortable
mm,
like lane of being this larger than life figure who is
yeah,
unapologetically himself, and like
exactly, yeah,
that's when like the breakthrough project was going to come. That's when the worlds were going to collide. That's, you know what I mean.
mm,
And
hmm,
unfortunately we didn't get to see that step of the process.
yeah. No, and it's yeah. Yeah, people seem to figure out that balance with time. It takes a lot of time though. Like you're still like you know I feel like you're still young in the sense that you probably wouldn't really like one is still young in the sense that they wouldn't really like I sense worlds colliding all the time and I'm 25. I don't know. I'm sure it still
Right.
happens till you're like fairly old and like experienced in your career. But he was definitely like becoming more comfortable in what he was doing. He had a long way to go with that too, though. Like I know yeah, I know he definitely had compartmentalized those things a little bit, and I know he wanted to like I could sense his energy change past the point when he would like work on those things very separately for like the first 2 years of his career, and then I feel like in the last year of his career he was really he that's when he was really trying to bridge that gap and like bring
Right.
everything
Right.
together. um yeah, he just I mean tours. Yeah,
So I guess to circle back to Crybaby,
yeah,
uh more, I guess, light subject. Looking
cool.
back on the project 4 years later, what do you think the impact of that project was in the greater music landscape?
um Sheesh. The impact in the greater music landscape. Well, yeah, I mean, I think that's really like his first big statement release in the sense that,
Hmm.
like to me, I think um, that the beat selection is a very important thing in this genre. And I think he nailed it there, and he continued to nail it. From then on, he was always good at it to begin with. He showed like the talent and the potential with it, but he would experiment a lot earlier on. And then I think he really just started to figure himself out with Crybaby. And that's influenced, yeah, a lot of what's come since. Like I could name countless songs that use guitar in a way that reminds me of Gus in general, but like it, if we're gonna talk where that stems from, it's Crybabies when he first really like popularizes and like um I don't know, he just like nails like the singing over guitar.
Yeah.
Like, and we, you know, it reminds me of like how much we listened to RHCP when we were kids, because a lot of the guitar riffs give me like a very like heavy vibe of them, and then honestly also the way that his voice interacted with it, like he kind of like I think channeled a little bit of like Anthony Kiedis with that to me every now and then. I mean, there's all so much more influence to it, but
Album is on streaming platforms now, and I understand there's some merch that's out. What's up with that?
yeah. So based around his original White Tee, which there we go. It's my favorite song from
There's the
the
favorite song. There we
yeah,
go. We
the
finally
tape.
got it.
Or what was originally a tape. And yeah, no, so it's like the merch collection is based around the White Tee, and we have, you know, reproduced the traditional White Tee that he made. Like I think he made like 25 of those himself, just to have,
Crazy.
like, not to sell originally. Yeah. And then but yeah, so we've turned that into a crop top. We have a onesie. You know, I'm
Wow.
trying to provide different kinds of items, because I mean, t-shirts are fun, but there's going to be a little bit of that every time. So I just have fun mixing it up, and there's some cool stuff available. I'm trying to think if there's. Oh, we have a hoodie. We have the crop top, the onesie, the tee, and the baseball cap, the same as the one that he
Mhm.
originally made. I knew there was something I was missing. It's got like the pink embroidery for the dove on a white cap. Everything's white. Just again inspired by the t-shirt. Just simple, you know, crybaby dove on like the left chest pocket area of most of these designs. Yeah,
Well, I mean, I
trying to.
think I speak. Yeah. What was that?
I was saying I'm just, you know, trying to keep it consistent with his original work, really.
Yeah, and I was about to say, I think I speak for the fans that we're also appreciative of you and your mom for keeping his music alive and his legacy alive, and putting in all the work that it took to clear all these samples to get these projects
Yeah,
officially released. So thank you so much, man.
of course. I mean, thank you guys for caring about him so much. Like, it's what makes this a community, and something that, I don't know. It helps us. It helps us hold on to the memory. Without you and everyone else, it would be much harder to do. So that thank you.